Alright, hey everybody, my name is Megan, and today I am going to try to give you a very brief, very helpful tutorial on Lord of the Rings Online for new players. I've been playing the game for a few years now, and I have a lot of friends that are coming into the game who have a lot of questions. They're kind of confused about a few things, and there are some settings that are game-changing, in my opinion, that I feel like most people are not aware of. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. I don't want to include a lot of fluff, so let's talk about you and this game. Lord of the Rings Online is a really fun game that I've been enjoying very, very much this year. This is currently November 2024. We just got brand new Legendary servers in August, and Legendary servers are a little bit different than other servers on this game, whereas you may have... It's a bit similar to classic World of Warcraft if you've played that, so you'll have retail or current expansions of the game where the max level is 150, but in a legendary server right now, the most that we can have here is level 50. So the characters and storyline will progress over time, but it's way, way slower than what you have on regular servers right now. Now, if you want to play on a VIP server, that does mean that you'll be spending $15 a month rather than having a free-to-play account, but in my opinion, it's worth it. The new servers are a little bit more up-to-date, yada yada yada. Alright, so let's talk about what you need to know right as soon as you make your brand new character. These are tips that I think you will immediately need to utilize if you want to kind of get the most that you can out of the game. So when you first log on, you're going to notice you have your little player stats up here, your map, your quest, all of this good stuff, your UI for the game specifically. If you do not like any of this, you can press Control and backslash on your computer, and it allows you to change all of this stuff. Your chat, you can change it. Your map, you can put it down here if you want. Your little quest log over here. Your alerts, do you want them somewhere that you notice them more? Okay, put them in the middle of the screen. You can change a lot here, okay? You can change where all of your action bars are. You can change anything. Do I want to change where my target is? So if I select Jailer Ned over here, I can move him over here. I'm someone who likes my vitals in the middle of the screen. It's easier for me to see. So that to me is a huge number one problem solver. Also, what I want to talk about is your bags. So in this game, you have many bags. I've goofed already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a potential 6th. Now, I don't like having all of these bags separate. So what you can do is click on this cogwheel right here, click on edit mode, and you see how these bags, they have lines in them. These are different rows. So you can drag all of the rows here and take all of the rows out of the bags and add them to your first bag, okay? And make sure that you're not leaving any space in the other ones. You know, do another little clicky click here, and then click on the cogwheel again. So this is your bag 1, all right? If you want a button for all of your bags, you're gonna go into your options. For me, utilize this search bar up here. I'm gonna type bag, and it'll show me on the side where bag results appear. So I'm going to click on key mapping. My bag 1 is always my B. You can change your keybinds here, click accept, and now you have one giant bag. You don't have to worry about opening all of your other bags. If you want to, that's fine. And also right here, you can resize your bag if you want it to be skinny, fat, whatever. Have at it. Now, as a new character, you may notice down here an alert section. So you're going to have a daily free gift. So every day you can open a gift for free, and it'll give you things like Virtue XP, boosts, gear, all of this stuff listed here, and it gives you a countdown right next to it. So you click on that every day. It's free stuff. It doesn't matter. Just click it. And then once a week, you get a bigger free item with better stuff. So you can open it now if you pay for Mithril, which is something that you buy with real money, or you can just wait. I'll wait for 5 days. So when you open that, everything will go into your bags here. Now, when you first start, you may have a few items in your bag already, okay? So for example, I have something called a 1-year gift box. I can open that and it'll give me objects. Now this is really important. Sometimes your daily gift or these boxes that you open will give you certain buffs, okay? Sometimes it's a buff like this, +5 hope for 90 minutes. So these buffs are useful to you later in the game, okay? If you don't think it's something that you understand right now, don't click on it. Just put it in your bag. Don't touch it, leave it alone, okay? So this here is Virtue XP. Right now, you don't know what that is, leave it alone. If you don't know what it is, leave it alone. And here's another really good tip in my opinion. If you have any questions, over in your chat box over here, we have something called world. So to type in your chat box in the world section, you type /world and you say hello. But my character is so new that I don't have the ability to talk in world yet. That kind of protects us from trolls and stuff, right? So if you have any questions, the player base is very nice for the most part. Most of the people who play this game are a little bit older, and there's no such thing as a bad question, no such thing as a stupid question. If you have any question, ask the world chat. If world chat can't help you, you can Google, and I'll try to leave a few links and talk later about resources like websites that you can use to find information. But right now I just really want to talk about what is right here, right now in front of us that you can utilize from the jump. Things you need to turn on in the game. Okay, so like I said, if you have any questions, just ask the world chat. They're super helpful and I'm sure we'll be happy to help you. So here you can see in my alert section, let me move it here. Like we moved it earlier with Control /. So here are my alerts. So right here, this bag, that is where loot can go. So you can decide if you kill a mob, if it automatically goes to your regular bags, or if it goes into this holding place called pending loot. So if you open up your options like we did earlier and type in loot in the top search bar and go to the UI settings, there's a setting called always loot all. If you want everything to go straight into your bag right here, you say always loot all checkmark, okay? But if you don't want to pick up bat wings or goo or slimy eyeballs that you don't really need, leave it unchecked and it'll go into your pending loot bag for 1 hour. You see how there's a countdown here? After the 1 hour, this stuff will be deleted, okay? So if you're questing in a zone and you have so much stuff and all you just really want is to pick up the quest items and things you might need, you're gonna have a lot of stuff in your pending loot if you have that enabled. And at the end of your questing time, you might want to loot it all and then vendor it. You know what I mean? Like, it's an easy way to make gold, but it's just kind of like your junk. And if there's stuff that you do want, you can pick it out of the list by double clicking on it instead of saying loot all. Super easy, super good. So another thing that we just saw here was I clicked sort all your items, and I had a little pop-up that came up because I clicked it for the first time. Now, if you click on this, are you sure that you want to rearrange all of the items in your inventory? Yes. And you can say, don't show me this again. And then it's all in a nice orderly line here. Okay, so now what are we going to talk about? We've talked about our daily rewards, our bags. Another thing that is going to be super helpful in my opinion is your tutorial. This pop-up here is a tutorial blurb. In my opinion, keep this sucker on. I know it's annoying. I know that anytime I play a game, I say, I don't need a tutorial. You probably need a tutorial in this game. There's a lot of things that aren't obvious. There's a lot of things that aren't explained openly. Leave the tutorial on. It's super helpful. They have some junk like this where you say, duh, it's my character panel. I don't need this, right? But it'll tell you stuff later on that you do need to know. Okay, so here's my characters. You guys can see this is Meggie. I am a lore master, and here you can see where all of my items will go as I get them, like earrings, necklaces, whatever. There's my weapon. This stuff on the side, if you hover over it, it'll give you information about what the stat does. This is super important, okay? And when discussing damage, also an important note, physical means that something is hitting you like melee. Tactical means that it's casted. So if I cast a spell on you, you're going to take tactical damage rather than physical damage, like if I were just to punch you, right? So that's something that also isn't super obvious, but I encourage you to kind of play around, read the stats, look at this. There is transmog in this game where you can get an item, say, oh, this looks cute, and then drag that item into the slot to make it so that you look like you're wearing gear that you're not actually wearing, which is really fun. Here in your skills, you're going to have all of your spells that you've learned so far. I really encourage you to hover over everything and read it, okay? Look at the damage type, like how it says frost damage. That's important sometimes because you'll have things that boost certain types of damage and you want to make sure that you're utilizing it all appropriately to get the best damage or healing or tanking out of your character. So we've seen the character page. Now let me show you something called your trait tree panel. So this page is going to show you a lot of different stuff. I have this bound to N, but here you can find it under traits. Okay, so every class is going to have 3 trait trees. In this game, most people call the different trees by their color. See, this is a blue tree, red tree, and yellow tree. And every time that you level up, for the most part, you're going to get 1 point available to put into your tree. So let's just put this here, and I'll say, okay, I want this point spent here. You click apply, yes, commit the changes, and that's all you need, okay? So every time you level, or, you know, it slows down a little bit as you level more, but that is how you apply traits, okay? You can have 2 different sets of traits. Change the trait configuration. So you could have traits for raiding, you could have traits for questing, you could have traits for anything you want, and it could be different, you know what I mean? So that's your trait tree. Here are your racials. I'm someone who's played a lot of World of Warcraft, so I may be using WoW phrases like racials, but here are your race traits. Here you're going to have 9 traits that you can equip. However, at the beginning, I don't think any classes really have any racials unlocked. You're going to unlock these through different means, okay? Usually it's by little quests or something. You can Google it. You'll figure it out. And as you unlock them, you apply them in these slots here. Race slot closed until level 13. So once I'm 13, I can drag one of these here. Here's your virtue traits. Now this is something to me that was very confusing, and I didn't understand as a new player playing by myself what exactly these are. So virtues, each virtue is different. So you can see we have 3 rows of virtues, or 3 columns of virtues. You can choose which virtues you level. So if I decide that I want to prioritize my maximum morale, which is power, or sorry, my health, okay? And tactical mitigation, tactical defense, and have a passive of more of health. I click on this and I start earning. So as I start killing things or completing quests or deeds, which I'll talk to you about in a minute, this bar slowly fills up. So see how this is 0 out of 2? It'll slowly fill up and the bar will become full. And then once it says 2 out of 2, then you'll click on another virtue and start earning for that. Alrighty, I've just realized that you guys could not see my cursor, so I've turned that on here. So when these start filling up, you'll be able to drag them into this row at the top. Okay, so these are virtue slots. So a lot of people who kind of min-max this game, once you complete your virtues that you like and get them maxed out, you start leveling or enabling other virtues. So see how these at the bottom say passive bonus? Passive means that you will receive this perk even if it's not on your top row, okay? So every virtue in your top row will give you the 3 bonuses you see right here. Maximum morale, critical defense, and resistance rating. If you slot this here, you will receive those benefits. So you can receive benefits from 6 virtues at a time. However, if you have other virtues filled up with their bars and levels, you do not receive the 3 top stats. However, where it says passive bonus, you will receive the passive bonus. So if I have this filled up, it'll be +4 health, okay? Which is good, like super important. If you level your extra virtues, you'll get way more health, which means you live longer. When you raid, you don't get one-shot by things. Super, super helpful. So let's see here. I have more notes. I'm a note taker. So we've talked about all of this stuff. Now let's talk about deeds. You're going to open your deed log with Shift L, or maybe it's bound to something different for you, but you can access it here. Deeds are like a quest. So here's our quest log. Okay. Deeds are like a quest. Okay, how do I explain a deed? So deeds are related to your zone. They're related to a profession, which you can have in this game, and they're related to a lot of different things like racials, whatever. So in this game, you're going to have quests that you complete. The quests will have a main storyline, which you need to follow. Any quest that you get that says in the title, Chapter 1, Book 1, or Book 3, Act 4, those are what you need to prioritize. If someone is asking you to find a pair of shoes in the pond, or you could do your storyline quest of Book 5, ignore the shoes, you know, like if your time is limited, ignore the shoes. You don't need to get the shoes out of the pond, but you do need to progress your main storyline. So back to deeds. Every zone will have deeds. Okay. So here's, gosh, I don't even have one deed to show you guys. Oh no. Hobbies will have deeds. You can bird or fish in this game, which is really cool. I like to bird watch in real life. Anyway, deeds will be kind of fluff. Deeds will appear randomly and say, kill 25 boars to complete this deed. Now, when you complete the deed, you'll get things like virtue XP that help fill up your bars, okay? And you'll get maybe experience, you'll get titles. So you see my character here is Meggie, but if you click on titles down here, I can be Meggie of Rohan. So these are my titles. Deeds will unlock a lot of titles for you. Okay, so now I'm Meggie of Rohan. For some reason, my character names just never really show, so I'm going to search up name, my character's name. So there. That's what a title is. It's just kind of cool. It makes you look cool. You can take it away. You can make it active. You'll get a ton of deeds that give you titles. So notice earlier how we got the daily reward that gives virtue XP. When you click on this, which I can't right now because I'm not level 7, it'll fill this up a little bit more. So your virtues will progress. Alright, so let's discuss mounts, which is a really important way to get from point A to point B in this game. I've heard several people say that Lord of the Rings Online has one of the largest world maps in all of gaming. So mounts are very important. Now, a lot of people think that at the beginning you have to buy a mount. Mounts are very expensive. You have to pay real money. It'll take a while. No. So when you spawn as a hobbit or a man, you come to this hunting lodge in Archette, and you will speak to John Brackenbrook. Dwarves and elves, you go to Thorin's Hall. You speak to Dwalin, and he will give you this quest. If you started around Mossword, there's a guy in Mossword for this. All of it you can find in a link I'll provide down in the description below. So, okay, this quest is called A Little Extra Never Hurts. So, you're gonna have part 1, okay? So, part 1, you click accept, okay? It's gonna make it look like you are buying something from the store, but you're not. Don't worry about it. So I have accepted part 1 on another character, so I can't show it to you here. Okay. Completing the quest, A Little Extra Never Hurts, part 1 is not required to proceed, but will provide you with enough low throw points to cover this purchase. A Little Extra Never Hurts, part 1 can only be completed once per account. So the first quest, from what I understand, they give you a few low throw points. So you click on this store down here. Let's get a little load going on. Sometimes it's a little bit slow to load. You click this and you will have a few points. Okay. Do not spend them, leave them alone. Okay. So you can see here I have a few points. And you can buy more with real life money or earn more with deeds, which we just spoke about before. So here it says, to purchase this quest, click on the button on the lower left side of the quest dialog window that says unlock the quest. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the first quest will give you a few points to purchase this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and accept this, and it's going to give you the skill to be able to ride a horse, and it's going to be able to give you an object that summons a horse and lets you ride it. Okay, so we're going to click accept. Then we are going to finish it. Excellent news, accept this mount. It will carry you to and from battle, but it is not fit for fighting. Don't worry about that. Okay, so you finish it. Oh my god, I can ride a horse now. Okay, so you receive, you can see in the chat, you have acquired the passive skill for riding. And then in my bags, I get my little extra steed. I'm going to put that on my action bars. And normally I have it bound to something, but I'm using my little bitty mouse. Okay, so now I can click on this horse. Are you sure that you want to add the mount to your skills panel? Doing so will remove the item from your pack. Yes. So now we click, and oh my god, I have a horse! Wow, I'm so fast, huh? Now you can also purchase mounts or buy them in the store or in the game, whatever. Don't worry about that right now. So let's talk for 1 second about another kind of UI thing that'll help a lot. Okay, so let's say that I've clicked on this marsh fly and I want to kick its butt. Okay, so for me, I want to see the marsh fly's vitals, okay? I'm going to go into my options here. I'm going to type in vital. I'm going to go to UI settings and click selection vital display. Now when I click on the marsh fly, I can see its bar right above its head. Now, this might be a little bit extra for some people considering it's also right here, but I just like to have it, okay? I just want to see. Sometimes you just want to see stuff. And another helpful thing is going to be called induction. Type in induction up here, and where it says induction bar display, enable that. Now, what an induction is in this game is casting. So if you're fighting a man mob and he's a warlock or something, and he's gonna cast warts on you, I don't know. So casting will take a few seconds. So this way, with this UI selection enabled, okay, you can see when he's casting. Right? You'll be able to see that he's casting, and that'll allow you to stop it if you have an interrupt. See his little bar, the yellow bar, as it moved? It's because he's casting. So to me, it's helpful. If you're in a raid and you want to interrupt, or something is about to put boogers on the ground that you step in and take damage, you want to be able to see it. So since we're talking about changes that we can make for the UI, let's go ahead and discuss coordinates. Coordinates are super helpful in this game. If you notice here, I've got my map and it says that I am in Archette, which is the city that I am in right here in Breland. And my coordinates are 25.1 south and 47.3 west. Now that is super handy to have. Now you can see here on the bottom, you can also see coordinates depending on where you've placed your cursor. So if you are looking for help on a quest and you're reading a Wikipedia page, a Lord of the Rings Online wiki page, it'll say, oh, well, the quest giver is at 4173. This way you can kind of find where 4173 is and get the quest or the item or whatever you need. So let's talk about adding those coordinates. Here in your options, if you search coordinates, show location coordinates on the radar, which shows you this here, and then show map cursor coordinates, which allows you to move the coordinates around here as you move your cursor, okay? Another thing with the map, you can move this. So this box will tell you what quests you have. Okay. Do you see this ring here on the E? See how it blinks as I enable and disable this? If you want your quest information to show on the map, you can enable it. You can change the color that you want it to be. This won't really change because it's a ring. But like if you need to hunt spiders over here and have the quest selected, you'll get a big purple area, a big purple blob, and that'll say, okay, your spiders are here to go kill. All right. When you want to track a quest, let's open our quest log here. You see this ring? Notice this ring, and then my quest log right here, my quest tracker. So this quest is given here. If I uncheck this ring, it disappears. So this button here is how you track a quest in your quest tracker. Now, if you untrack it here, it'll also untrack on your map. So that is super helpful in my opinion. You can also track deeds on your tracker here. Okay. And there's also a very helpful option to show your quest tracker, but also automatically fill quest tracker. If you don't want this filled up with a lot of junk or little silly quests, turn this off. Okay. So automatically fill quest tracker. That means if you pick up a quest from a hobbit who is trying to get second breakfast, but it's not that important, you can untrack it by unclicking this, or you can just turn off automatically fill the quest tracker. Okay. Also, let me discuss the UI. I know a lot of people who have like 4K monitors, and to them the UI is teeny tiny. Okay. You can scale the UI. So in your options here, all the way at the bottom, you can scale a lot of different stuff. So you can make the entire thing bigger, like this. You can make it smaller, okay? Or you can change certain things like opponent vitals. Make it big, make it small, whatever you want. There's a lot of customization here, okay? Your radar, do you want it teeny tiny? Do you want it gigantic? You can change all of that, okay? Super, super helpful. All right, so let me tell you guys about one of the worst settings in the game, in my opinion, okay? Something that is a huge pain in the butt. And it has a default keybind that is very easy to hit, and then you'll be asking yourself, why do I see things the way that I do right now? I think that it's called target lock-on. Target lock-on mode. This is the devil, okay? So I'm about to enable that. Target lock-on mode, I'm going to click on X because that's the default bind, okay? Do you see my screen move? Do you see that? Do you see how it keeps going to the target? It's the devil, okay? See how I can, my hand is off the mouse right now, okay? If I select the target, see how that just moved? I didn't move the screen. See how I'm moving right now? I am locked on to the target. The camera will move if you lock onto it. In my opinion, go to target lock-on mode, click on the X to clear that binding. It is the devil. You do not want anything to do with it. It will bring you nothing but misery, and then you'll say, why is it doing this? Why is it bad, you know? Alright, so for right now, I think that that is going to be it for this tutorial. I really hope that some of you found this information helpful. Coming into this game, it is kind of hard to get your feet, considering it is kind of such an older game and a lot of people disable the tutorial. So the biggest tip that I could give you guys is really to just leave the tutorial on in the game. And as the game progresses, you are going to see really helpful information. But yeah, I might be making some more tutorials soon with information that I forgot about, but I guess that's it for me. All right, thank you.